Nah. All right. There we go.
No. Oh my Lord. Yeah, I know they couldn't. I had muted myself. I hope my voice is coming through crispy clear.
All right.
And yeah, how are y'all doing?
I think we have it. We are. This is, by the way, this is my first stream using Stream Together.
Really?
Yeah, I've used Guest Star a bunch, but I haven't used a new feature, Stream Together, that makes it easy for all of us to stream. So I'm excited. Welcome, everyone.
Well,
Thank you. So happy to be here.
Yeah, it's great.
So
It's great.
why don't we do this? Why don't we all, since we all have our respective chats, and one of the things that'll be interesting in this, so one of the features at some point we're going to add is the ability to merge the chats, which I'm still torn on when you'd want to do it, because there's something about that community being together. But let's all introduce ourselves since we've all got our respective chats going on. So I'm Dan. I'm the CEO of Twitch. I went ahead and reached out to Chelsea and EspeSymone and JermainePlays, which we all hung out together down at DreamCon to do this stream together. Just to, I'm doing it as a part of. I've been doing this series I call Streamer Stories to just get into conversations with streamers about the stories of our lives and, what it shaped us to be who we are. So it's the four of us chatting. And now let's have each of them introduce themselves, and then we'll just jump in. Sound good, chat?
I'm sure chat agrees. Who do you want us to go first? Which one?
Oh, like I'm going to make that decision, Chelsea. You guys make that decision.
SB.
I'll go.
You know I like hearing from you. Yeah.
Well, hello everybody. My name is EspeSymone. I am a content creator based out of Los Angeles. Although I am originally born and raised in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. You could take the girl out the South, but you can't take the South out the girl type thing. I play a lot of Dead by Daylight. I just recently started diving into just chatting because I just love to talk about my life and talk about myself. So it's been such an interesting pivot. But that's me. And I'm one of your Black Unity Guild leaders, by the way. Throw it out there, let y'all know.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Hey everyone, my name is Jermaine. I'm JermainePlays on Twitch. I'm a New York City based variety content creator. I'm also a proud lead of the Twitch Black Guild. I've been streaming for about 7 years. In my channel, I like to do deep dives of big old games, 100-hour playthroughs, die a bunch in games like Elden Ring or Sekiro, or just do really long, loving playthroughs in Breath of the Wild or Horizon Saga. You all are welcome to come through and hang out. And thanks, Dan, for the invite.
And actually, since Espy did it, and I'll do mine at the end, Jermaine, where are you from? You don't have to say where you live, because some people may not want to talk about where they live, but where are you from?
Oh, I'm originally from Buffalo, New York. Spent some time in Chicago. I currently live in Harlem, NYC.
And last but certainly not least.
Hi, everybody. I'm ChelseaBytes, and I'm from Houston, Texas. I'm currently in Austin. And just an overhead about me, I'm crazy about computers, love to build them. I have 5 of them to myself just from our 5 years of doing this thing that we stream and call Twitch and ChelseaBytes and whatnot. But other than being a nerd, rolling dice, cosplaying, watching anime, and all of those other things, yeah, you will hear maybe outside of the stream, because it can't happen during the stream, that I talk a lot. And that's what I've built my career off of. My verbose vernacular and everything that comes with just being me. But nice to meet you.
That's great. So we got 3, and by the way, I'm from New Orleans. And I know these 3 know it because I've mentioned it. So we got 3 Southerners. And also, and I don't know if we may have 4. 3 of us are computer, whatever, word you want to put after that. SB, I don't know if you fall in that category or not.
I know so much about computers. Just don't ask me to repair it, because I'm probably going to break it more than I fix it.
Well, I mean, please. Can you come break one of these so I can make another one?
Computers,
Yeah.
just because I have a PhD in computers doesn't mean I can repair a computer either, SB. Okay, so
Can we talk about that for a second? Because I have my
Sure.
parents and my in-laws calling, and they're like, "Hey, girl, my printer," and I'm like, "IT, call them," because I'm not. That's not me. But I am the other CS person in this group. I have a bachelor's in computer science with a math minor, so all the way up to calculus 3, engineering math, stuff like that. And man,
Yep. And Jermaine, you're in IT. That's what
I'm
you
representing
do.
for IT, so y'all call me. That's fine. I'm gonna handle it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna handle it in
Yeah.
10 minutes, so y'all don't have to take 2 hours.
you think you're so smart. Ugh.
But see,
That's the
on
value
to
that
this,
we bring.
right? And I don't repair computers, but I work at not to spoil myself. I work at somewhere that sells very popular computers, and I've been working there for like 7 years. So I know how to talk you through purchasing the computer. Now repairing it is the part where I'm like, okay, I don't know about all that. So I'm gonna call you Jermaine.
That's
So this
Put
important.
us
good.
all
So
together,
if
and
I-
we're like a good vertically integrated company.
I was gonna say, if I'm gonna need to buy a computer, I'm going to SB. If I need to get it working, I'm going to Jermaine. If I need to program, I'm gonna go to Chelsea. And if I just want someone to speak about them without actually doing anything, you come to me,
Perfect.
right?
Boom.
We got people volunteering to be a part of this company in my chat. So if you need anything, they
You
got
got
you
to get that startup going.
for sure.
All right. So I'm going to kick this off because what we're going to do for everyone is we're going to just flow back and forth between who asks what questions. And we're going to start with kind of life questions. So I'm going to start with one that I like to ask, okay, which is each of us telling, I will pick it as either a parent, specific, say a father, father, daughter, father, son, or a mother, daughter, mother, son, but I'll generalize it here. So just share one of your stories and one of your memories about something you've shared with one of your parents.
Let me tell y'all. Okay, I'll get it started. So I think I like starting with all the happy memories. I think one of the biggest ones from my childhood was spelling, because I think back when we were kids, TV, internet, it was really well, maybe not TV. I wasn't really allowed to watch TV like that growing up, but the internet was just kicking off. So everybody who had a computer, they were figuring out how to use AIM and all that and getting onto all the like little vent channels and talking to people. But I had to stay and read, and I would go outside, and then I go back in and read and do whatever packets my mom had prepped for me. So it was constantly like, math problems. It was grammar. I learned how to read on Hooked on Phonics, if that's like aging myself. But yeah, that type of stuff. My mom, she really pushed me to be, involved and, educated, I guess, in what she thought educated meant, because she was a child care professional herself. So she was always doing something that involved children or, just furthering yourself. So when I went and got into my spelling bee when I was in elementary, and I won that whole thing, and my mom was just like literally my mom was just like, yes. And my dad leaps over like a crowd of kids, like literally clears these children to like pick me up on stage, spin me around and celebrate. Like that was like the culmination of just being a proud kid and like being proud of myself and my parents being proud of me. And that's like, and I went home and they gave me 2 scooters. Not 1, 2 scooters. And scooters were like the thing back in the day. Everybody had a little electric, like you got your little electric scooter, and it was like you were the coolest kid on the block. So yeah, I was very proud of that. And specifically for my dad, he works in HVAC, and he was on the news saving a whole bunch of kittens from the heat wave that had come through that summer at the, I think it was the HSPCA or whatever they called the pet place then. But I was also like a really proud moment because I could like tell people, you can see my dad on TV. They're going to show him on the news. And he's like, just being a sweet dad. Like, I'm like, wow, out of the goodness of your heart, just for free out here saving kittens. I love it. Those are my favorite memories of my parents.
All right. Let's see.
Follow that up. Yeah. Y'all got parent stories?
Yes, I mean I can go. When I think about a story with my parents, it actually involves my mom and my sister. So in my family, I like to joke around that I am a trailblazer in a sense that I came out of the closet in May of 2009. I actually just recently reached the point of being out of the closet more of my life than being in the closet. So a majority of my life I've been out of the
And
closet
how
as
old
a queer
how old were
person.
you? How old were you? You did?
How old was I? If I lied to my chat, because I be telling my chat I'm 21, the math ain't gonna math. No, I'm kidding. I was 14. 14. I was 14, but I'm still 21, so we're going up till now. I'm 21. But I came out the closet in 2009. It was not a good experience, especially being from Southern Louisiana. I had really weird reactions from a lot of people. But the trailblazer part comes in. My mom actually came out the closet as a queer woman in 2011.
Wow.
And then a week after my mom came out, my sister came out as a queer woman, like literally a week later in 2011. And I specifically remember my mom was so afraid to tell me because she had such an adverse reaction to me coming out the closet. Like it was a strong reaction, and she was afraid to tell me that she too was queer. And I remember she got on the phone with my sister and she was like crying through it, and she told me, and it's so wrong, y'all. I started laughing. Because I'm like, girl, welcome to the family. I'm not upset. And later, we were on the phone again. We talked a lot. And my sister was like, since y'all telling everything, I'm a lesbian. And this was kind of one we knew. She had a best friend that they always were together. And we like, that's your girlfriend. You're not telling us that's your girlfriend, but we know that's your girlfriend. So whenever you're ready to tell us, let us know. Got to the point where we just laughed. And our relationship is so strong now. And then have a clear background is chef's kiss.
Beautiful. I love it. They were just waiting for you to, send the first message in the group chat. That's what they were waiting
Hello?
on. Yeah. They're like, are we allowed in here? Okay.
You like led the way.
Right.
I've been a trailblazer for as long as I can remember.
Nice.
That's your origin story.
All right, Jermaine.
Yeah, I guess it's my turn to go. So I have two, of course, I'm the person who has two answers. Because the first thing that popped into my head is just a very simple memory. And that's like it's one of the earlier memories that I have. I'm like maybe like 3 or 4 years old, and like my mom has me, like I'm standing on my mom's feet and she has my arms, and we're like dancing to a Michael Jackson song. Like I think it was like Billie Jean or something like. And I just remember, that's just something that I remember because my mother got saved when I was like in middle school, and so she stopped listening to like any popular like non-church music. So like we didn't really like hear that kind of stuff in my home like from that point onward. So like that memory just always sticks out for me. It's just like just a really just fun kind of free time in Buffalo. And the other one that I'll share is from when I was like in my senior year of high school. One day a week, we had to like volunteer in the community. So I set it up that I could volunteer at the nursing home that my mom worked in, which was like in my neighborhood. So like that one day of the week, I would go with my mom to work. It was like a non-skilled care retirement home. So I would sit with the residents there and like play games with them, play bingo, like whatever, just hang out, eat lunch with them. But I also got to see my mom work, those days. And that was, it was just really nice for me to like see my mom doing her thing and to like be a part of it there. So those are the two that I would share. And this is a great question, Dan.
Yeah. All right. So I'll need to pick one of mine, and I will try to pick one. I think my chat may have heard this one, although I'm not sure. So I grew up, as I said, in New Orleans. 7 kids in the family. I'm the second oldest. And as the second oldest, the parents are all, it's a good Irish Catholic family. The parents are very busy raising the other kids. And so one of the funny stories I always like to tell about my mom is when my younger brother Bob was in 8th grade. I came home for Christmas, and I was, I think, in school then, in college. And he played 8th grade football. And my mom, we were sitting in Christmas, and she said, my older brother is Joe, and she said, Joe, I really wish you or Dan, had played football. We've had so much fun with Bob playing football because we go to the games and I pick him up from practice, and it's really been fun. And I said, Mom, I did play football.
Oh.
Not only
But
then,
you know what? Okay, I have to hop in on that because I'm from 5. There's 5 of us, so we're like 2 off from you. And even at 5, I still get called my siblings' names.
Yeah,
I'm the oldest.
Yes.
I'm the first one. I gotta ask, what's the difference between the age difference, if that's appropriate to ask?
That is fine. Let's see. My sister, the youngest sister was born in 79, and my brother in 62. So 17 years between the youngest, and I was born in 64. So
I got you.
And
Okay, y'all.
The best part about this story is
age.
after I told her this, she argued with me. And she said, "No,
yeah.
you didn't. No, you didn't."
No.
And I said, "No, I played freshman football. I just took the bus home, okay? And I don't think y'all ever came to a game."
Oh no!
It wasn't that she forgot. She really hardly knew because she was raising all the little kids, right? I'd wake up in the morning, I'd go up to school. She had it's like that's what you do with 7 kids, and you're one of the oldest ones, So
it's too many of y'all.
Yep. All right. So actually, as opposed to me asking a question, now why don't we let one of you guys throw a question out there?
I'm about it. But you know me. I want to see if y'all ask one first. Yeah, SB.
No, I was just thinking. So what popped in my brain when we were talking about the age differences between siblings, I know one thing that me and Chelsea have in common is we have a major age gap between ourselves and our younger sibling. For example, my little brother, today is his birthday. He just turned 9. I turned
Today. Oh my God! Happy birthday!
Yeah, happy birthday.
Yes, happy birthday to Jace. And me being 21, there is a.
Don't laugh. Hush. How would you gag them like that? No. Wow. They're going to clip this.
Clip.
Oh
me being 21, that is a large gap between. No, honestly, there's a 21-year gap between me and my little brother. So I turned 30 this year. So it's kind of interesting. I guess.
Wait, SB, I'm confused. I'm really confused. I thought you were 21. You just in fact.
I am.
So how could you turn 30 this year? How did you turn 30 this year?
It's real weird. It's weird the way that the age system works. I don't know. Because I turned 22. I don't know. Just know. It's a leap year. Yep. Somebody in my chat said it's a leap year.
It's a leap year.
It's a leap year. Yeah. But having such a big age gap to Chelsea, has that provided any motivators? Like a lot of things that I do, I think about my little brother. I'm like, okay, now I got to be a role model for somebody. I never really consider myself a role model for people, but my little brother tells me all the time, I want to grow up and be just like you. So now everything I do, I'm like, oh, okay, let me make sure I leave a good, lasting impression on him.
No, you're absolutely right. My brother just turned 10, and I'm also turning 22 this year. And wow, yeah, what a big difference. Speaking of just little kids, especially little boys who look up on the internet and they see the Mr. Beast and I would say the Tyler ones or the Corey Kenshins and the Casanats and the Speeds and all that. And Yeah, I know. I'm going in that direction because, that's what they see. It's like the most popular thing in their space and that's what they talk about. And for me, the first thing on my brain was, all right, how do we filter this and point you towards positive role models? I like Corey. Some others maybe not so much. But also when he sees my stuff, I'm proud of him because his first thought is, oh, I can do that and I can do it better. He looked at my videos and he was like, okay, Chelsea, my videos have like 30,000 views, and my boy does have one video with 30,000 views on it. It does not have his face. It has nothing that identifies him, but he loves playing one game. I don't know what the algorithm was thinking that day. It popped for him. It did. So he has been holding that over my head and looked at my videos and he's like, I don't understand how you're struggling so much. I did one video and I hate that. Like, what are you doing? Let me give you tips. So
And he
I'm
ate
very
you
impressed
up.
with his confidence. I think he's got a mouth like mine. So, it's kind of like pointing my own medicine at me because he can talk like some trash on the side. They even got the chance to meet him on my stream. So yeah, they learned real quick.
Hmm. If I can add on to
Yeah.
that, thinking about
Mhm.
you just said his confidence, I'm more than sure he got that from you. And
I
I'm gonna tell y'all
know.
this. I am
No.
going to say this,
Yeah.
and I have been around Chelsea a lot. And the way that Chelsea carries herself in a room is just such a confident person.
Yes.
She talks so poised. Like she can talk herself up. And that's something that I talk to her about and I talk to her often. I have trouble talking myself up, and I've been told it's kind of a thing, especially being a marginalized person, how sometimes it's kind of hard to like boost yourself up. But
Mhm.
watching Chelsea and watching how Chelsea boosts herself up, talks herself up, inspires me to go out there and be more confident, inspires me to go out there and be better at networking. So I know your little brother got that from
Oh
you.
yeah, no,
So
he
you
listens to me.
are a role model, and I'm gonna be nice this
Mhm.
one time. You're kind of a role model to me, but don't
Oh,
clip that and don't save that for later because
I'm
you
deleting
know
the
me and
stream.
Espy is gonna come back out as soon as the call opens.
It's not real until I delete the stream. No, I have to add on to that real quick then because we're going to pass this back and forth. I learned from everybody on this platform and just from, my general circle of just people that I trust and love and hold dear because everybody's a teaching experience. Like truly, I think it's like people tell you to stay humble, but I think like being proud of yourself means that you're proud of the people around you and you surround yourself with people who are kicking butt, are challenging you, and y'all can be proud together. So I'm saying if I'm over here like hyping myself up is because I learned something from the people over here and over there, and the people that I'm in the rooms with are pushing me to be better. So I hope that translates because I just look at y'all and I'm like, well, they're great. I got to be great like them. Period. And that's the same with Jermaine. Can we talk about Jermaine too? And
Oh my
but
gosh.
before I move on to Jermaine, I think Dan, just to give you context on what SB is saying on the confidence part. Now, I don't know how it was going up through college when you were going through college, but for me, being the only like one of the very few women in both of the universities that I attended for my CS major, because I went from computer engineering to computer science. And, it's always a man and a whole bunch of guys, maybe a few women sprinkled throughout, and just people commenting all the time, just making all these little comments and just saying things to you that I guess they just don't think. It's just a lot of ignorance that flies through the air. So I had to advocate for myself just going up through college already. So I was lucky that when I went to Twitch, I had already been through that trial by fire. I don't think you get that. There are other degrees where you can get that as just a person in general because every student got to fight for their grades. Every student has to fight for their voice in school, but it's just a different flavor for a woman, especially a black woman at that. But that was what I attest me finding my voice and confidence from getting a computer science degree. But speaking of great people like Jermaine, even from the first time I met Jermaine, I was already like, oh, this is another mutual that thinks like me. because you meet a ton of people in every space, but it is rare to meet somebody that is on the same wavelength as you. It really is all signals. I don't want to say vibrations because that sounds kind of culty, but yeah, it's like you see that person, you see how they move and operate, and you're like, oh, real recognize real. Like Jermaine, he moves in a way and speaks in a way especially, and just communicates in a way that I also want to add to my arsenal of skills. I'm not trying to absorb y'all like the Infinity Stones, but y'all teach me things. And Jermaine, you have to hype yourself up real quick right now on the spot about how you got to that point and how you built your confidence to, talk and speak to people the way that you do.
First and foremost, it's like incredibly kind for you to say all of that, Chelsea. Like, I mean, we have spoken sort of off stream. I think you're amazing. And I agree with everything you said. You truly are. 99% of the time, we're thinking the same things. And I love that we're in this process with the guilds together. This is side talk, but I love that we get to do this together because at this point, like, I love having you in the group because I can rely on you to, like, to put things out there sort of. So, I don't necessarily feel like I always have to be the one to say it. Like, I love having all of these guild leaders here in Espe. You are incredible as well. Like, you're giving props to Chelsea. Like, you inspire me. Like, I won for your gaming award. Gaming magazine honor. Like, I was right there. Like, I think what you're doing is amazing. I'm in the midst of my own journey as a queer person. Like, and that has had its ups and its downs. And that's what I love about this Unity Guilds team is that there really is something to learn from everyone. And sometimes it's hard to humble myself to see that every time, especially
to humble yourself
when we're like going back and forth. But I love this team, and like you all really do inspire me to be better. So
I have to give y'all the blind gamer Steve cosign real quick there in my chat saying yes. Jermaine, love y'all so much. Dan, where do you fit in all this? Dan? Gotta say something now.
Listen.
We started talking a lot.
No, that's okay. Is it like
we will take over, Dan?
I know this may shock you. I'm not a wilting flower. Okay. So, and in fact, I'm going to tell you a quick story, and then I'm going to go to a question that I will answer first that is on this theme, and I will answer it first, and then each of y'all will answer to give. So, but the quick story was, I have a loud voice. I do talk a fair amount, but when I was young, there's a well-known story in my family because my older brother, he would speak for me. And in fact, he would tell mom and dad everything, and like he wouldn't like let me speak, okay. And so he would like answer for me, and that was the joke that when I was younger, and of course now I've had to make up for it. But yes, and I've made up for it. But now I'll get to the question. And I'll answer it first to give you a sense of what I'm going at here. So both of you, all of y'all, were talking a little bit about this. Learning something about yourself and who you are and gaining confidence in that identity. And a big part of both high school and college is discovering who we are and finding our voices, right? And finding what is really important to us. And we sometimes choose things just because other people choose things. And then we find, so some story that talks about an aha you had, okay? This kind of like, light goes off about your life, about who you are, about what drives you. And I'll start with one of my stories. So I did a lot of theater in high school and college. And I started doing theater after I didn't make the basketball team because I wanted to play basketball. I didn't make it. My brother, who's always been big into theater, said, well, why don't you go try out for this play? I was like, okay. I'm not going to be on the basketball game. I guess I won't be so bummed. And I go to try out this play, had a great time. And then every semester from then on until second semester, junior year of college, I was always in a play. I was the president of the drama club, both the high school and college. And everyone thought of me as like, that was like who I was. And then my second semester, junior year, I said, I'm not going to do a play this semester. I just want to understand what that is like. Okay. And I was the president of the drama club, and everyone's like, what do you mean? We're doing like, To Kill a Mockingbird. You can be Atticus. You can blah, blah, blah. And I didn't do a play, but In part because I'd always miss stuff with the guys I lived in the dorm with. I went to Duke. I was always missing things because of practice. And I had a great time that semester, and I realized that for all I loved about theater, a big part of it was the community. That, in fact, the thing that really drew me to theater was it was the place that I could find my voice. And by that point, I had gotten to where I could find my voice without being in the theater community. And in fact, I had a great time with all my other friends. And the strange thing was, since then, I haven't done a play. And it was sort of this understanding where it used to be a big part of my identity. And then I sort of had this aha where I realized what are the things that I got from theater, and I went deeper in terms of my identity. And I enjoy performing, I enjoy singing, I would have performed, but I didn't need it. And it was sort of this aha and understanding that I could get the same thing just from my friends. So share a story of a kind of aha you had in high school or college about who you were.
I'm going to jump in on this, and let everybody think. But first, Dan, what was that first play?
Yes.
I will remember the first play. The first play was, gosh. I think it was Marathon 33, which is it was a play about how they used to do these dance marathons that would go for like 10 days. And I have this vivid memory because one of the things that we did to get into character for the play was we did a dance marathon where we did like a 24-hour dance marathon where we had you would get a 10-minute break every hour. And then, or maybe it was, I think it was a 24-hour. We did it all night, which, in high school, you think that's the coolest thing ever.
Right.
Yeah.
Wow. Oh, wow. I'm just like 24-hour dance marathon.
Dead.
Yeah. I don't know if I have it in me. Okay. So, this is a really good question too. My aha moment, in high school, college range is kind of similar, to yours, Dan, as it does involve theater. But for me, it started, I went to like a private all-white high school where there were only 6 other Black kids. It was all boys. In my mind going into school, I had been watching Saved by the Bell and whatever, and I was just like, I'm gonna be on the debate team. And so I got to the school and they had a speech and debate team, and I tried debate and I wasn't really feeling it, but then I went over to the speech side. And maybe 9-10 days into my freshman year, I went to a tournament and I placed second in this category called declamation, which is when you memorize a speech that someone else has written and you deliver it as if it were your own. And at that moment, I realized, one, that people have the power to make people feel things, and two, that sometimes I could do it. And so I was just kind of hooked, and I went from declamation to oral interpretation of prose and poetry to doing drama. And then, a few years later, I auditioned for the first play I ever did, which for me was The Crucible. If anyone knows Arthur Miller.
Yep.
And I was cast in this little role as Cheever, Cheever, little twerpy clerk dude. And I was terrible. But that's when I just fell in love with these kinds of arts. And now, sort of like you were saying, Dan, I don't necessarily have to do theater anymore because I get to ham it up on Twitch, or I get to go sit next to ChelseaBytes and EspeSymone. We all can ham it up together, and so that very much scratches my creative sort of juices. And I have to say, I love this version of creator me. I think the me back then in the high school years would be super proud of the way that it all has kind of come together.
Yeah, I do think it's interesting that, in general, most theater that when you're doing it in high school and college and whatnot is all scripted. But part of the magic is improvisational. I know I actually did a few experimental things where we wrote them And I think that's really what Twitch is. It's improvisational performance. And there's really, I really think there's something magical about improvisational performance. And it's not like actually that common, except in a place like Twitch.
I feel that.
All right.
Leslie, you want to go before I go?
Yeah, I'll go. I think so. Once again, also a theater kid. I went to I got my undergrad degree in theater actually, and a big aha moment for me. I remember being 20 last year. My bad. You know, I got to think a little bit to make sure my timeline's still right. But I remember interviewing for a job, and I had never not gotten a job when I interviewed for a job. Like, this was retail level work. I didn't get this job. And the feedback that they gave me was the experience is not enough. And I sat back and I was like, how am I getting this experience? What do you mean it's not enough? How do you tell me no? Don't you know who I am? And I spoke with my counselor at school. And she asked me what I spoke about. I was like, oh, I worked at Pizza Hut. I talked about that. And she was like, did you talk about being a theater student? I said, no. And that's because in life, everyone always told me, you go to school for theater, you're going to end up broke. What they don't tell you is, you go to school for theater, you pick up on so many transferable skills that can benefit you in other places. And when I went back to this interview, I actually interviewed when I moved to LA again. I spoke about that and I got the job, which is where I am now. And even to this day, I'm amazed with how much my theater degree helped me. Right now, I facilitate courses. So like I go into work, I go on stage, I talk, I do all of this, and I do it very well, along with one other person in my store we talk a lot. We talk very well. But our common denominator is we went to school for theater. We have a theater background. And that theater background prepared us for the future. Whereas if you would have talked to me in college, I was hungry, graduate, I don't know what's happening. But it was that moment my counselor said, don't talk about the work that you should have had. Talk about what you're doing now. Talk about how you have to juggle a 20-hour course load along with plays, along with rehearsals, along with the job. Talk about how you have good time management skills. Talk about how you can organize a schedule in order to do this. And I think that was like one of the biggest and pivotal moments of my youth last year at the age of 20, where I was like, okay, this is good stuff. This is good stuff. Don't beat yourself up over choosing a theater major. Embrace that. Speak about that because it's a good thing. That's the overarching theme.
I feel that. I want to speak on that too. Like, I did a lot of stuff that like my parents set me out to do because you know how it is with like if you're the first kid, they're really active with the first kid. At least most parents are. They're like, oh, you got to go, you know, run track, you got to swim, you got to do tennis, you got to get piano lessons, you got to blah blah blah. So my mom had me on that day one. So I was just like, this stuff is just, I took a lot of that for granted because I was just like, this stuff is just stuff you're supposed to do, whatever, blah blah blah. But when I got older, and because a lot of my childhood was focused on, you know, the kids around me and not myself. Like I didn't go out to, you know, friends' homes or do sleepovers and stuff. I was home. I couldn't even leave the cul-de-sac really when I was a kid because, you know, stranger danger, blah, blah, blah. Like I need to see you in the yard. That's it. So sheltered life. And then when I got older, when I actually when I first went to college, and I just started actually talking to people because I talk to people at school, but those are school, you know, like those are kids. Like they disappear after they walk out of the, you know, the school doors and all that. And I might see them outside of school for like some other like group project or whatever. But when I was forced to like be out on my own and build relationships and stuff like that, and I realized how much of my older sibling, like people pleaser skills kick in to make like the enjoyable experience for everyone. It came out when I went and I became like the vice president of my dorm at my university. And when I was talking to people, they were like, oh my God, you should run your own show. You're so hilarious, blah, blah, blah. You should X, Y, Z. And for me, I was just like, oh no, this is just naturally like how I want to have conversations with people. I'm so unserious. I just want to laugh. Maybe we can talk about the serious stuff too. But even when you interact with people, I just want that to be something memorable, I guess. And it's not something that, and I know when you hear that, it sounds like I'm trying, but that's really how I want to connect with people. Cause I look at you and I'm like, who is this person? What do they have going on? And like, what about them like makes them shine? Because I'm interested in your story. And that kind of peeled back and became more of who I was as I got older, as I went through college and the next college and moved out to Cali and started, working and stuff like that. And I find that people are more interesting than myself. So I just try to get them to open up. And that's kind of what has built into what I am today, what makes up what I am. I'm very delayed. We went late puberty stage, but yes, that's when I started having my aha moment. And yes, I love theater. I hope you guys like musicals. I love Into the Woods, one of my favorite musicals of all time. So please watch it. Meryl Streep is in the new one, but the actors in the theater actors are amazing in the originals. But that's me.
I will favorite composer is Stephen Sondheim. And I saw Sweeney Todd when it was when it was first on Broadway with Len Carew and Angela Lansbury, and then I did not see Into the Woods on Broadway, but I saw Sunday in the Park with George, Company, most of his, and so Into the Woods is a wonderful musical.
I love that.
Don't fight me, y'all. I was the theater kid who hated musical theater. But listen, wow. I can't, because every time I say this, people look at me like, what's going on? What are you asking me? At my school, the musical theater side of the program was like a cult. It drew all of my friends in. They never wanted to hang out no more because they were singing musicals and I couldn't sing. So I wasn't going because I wasn't about to be embarrassed with my voice. So I was just like, wait, hold on. I don't want to do musicals. It was like my villain era. I was like, get that musical away from me. Give me straight acting. But then now that I graduated, I kind of regretted it. I was like, I should have been in vocal lessons last year at the age of 20, of course, because I would have been able to hone my voice as opposed to now. It's kind of like in hindsight. Hindsight is 2020. I should have been in those theater classes trying to learn how to sing because my chat talk about me when I sing karaoke to them every day.
Every day?
I'll get what y'all get, okay?
Every day.
Every day?
Exactly. Every day.
Oh, my.
It's the ESPE show. What do you mean?
Exactly.
I mean,
I love to sing. I
was going to say, Espy, the way I hear you talking, I would think you'd have a good singing voice.
Oh, absolutely not. I'm going to come sing on your stream, and I'm going to see how long it take you to hang up and say, hold on, why did I invite
Sounds like a challenge. Sounds like a challenge.
Now, Dan, you play the piano.
I do.
You know I'm bringing it up. Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow.
I do. I have it right here. I do play the piano. That's what I do on my stream mostly,
Yeah. Yeah.
Since I don't game, I need some go-to thing,
We hear you banging on that thing.
Yeah.
All the way over here. We do.
Yeah.
What do you like to play mostly? What are your favorite songs?
So what are my favorite songs? So first, I've been a music aficionado my whole life. I originally had 1,000 albums because I used to just go out and buy. I loved listening to music on albums, and then I was the first one with a CD player, and I got like 800 to 1,000 CDs, and then I started listening to streaming services in 2003 or 4 when they first came out. And now, I've had lots of diverse. I used to love getting into this one style and then another style throughout my life. Now I probably listen mostly to what is called Americana, because I mostly lyrics. I really like a story in the lyrics, but I still like all sorts of music. But that's where I spend most of my time. I'm listening to Americana and music where I think the lyrics are really telling a story.
Beautiful.
So is that
I just played
Country
anime
Roads?
music.
Country Roads is singer-songwriter. I mean, it is like Americana is kind of this broad. So like Brandy Carlisle is considered Americana, and then it ranges to some that are a little more country-ish. Okay, but I'm not a big like pop. I'm not a big. I actually don't like pop country. But Old Crow Medicine Show, I'd say, would be Americana. Tom Waits in my chat. I used to love Tom Waits. But I loved Van Morrison and Springsteen for a long time, and Peter Gabriel. So all sorts of went through my jazz phase, So
Jazz.
yeah.
My
The
English
real question
teacher,
is,
yeah.
go ahead, Chelsea.
No. All I was saying was my English teacher was all about teaching me how to try to switch my tone to jazz or the blues. So you just brought up a memory for me. But please, Espy, go ahead.
Yes, the real question is, did you listen to Renaissance by Beyonce? And if
Oh my
not,
God,
I'm
yes.
fully prepared to write you a 12-page essay about why that is the greatest album of the 2000s. Probably of all time.
I have listened to it. I do not. I will be honest. I don't like put it on all the time. But Beyonce, there's certain musicians that they are tremendous musicians, and Beyonce is one of those. That you may not like. There are different things that cause your rhythms to put it on, right? And there are other ones that I may not play that I'm like, no, but they're amazing musicians, and Beyonce clearly is an amazing. An amazing
He
talent.
better be for how much I'm spending to see her.
Exactly.
That's all I'm saying. I'm
And
just
Twitch,
Dan, do you have tickets also?
I do not have tickets,
Yes.
and I also do not have tickets to the Era Tour.
That P5
No, it's okay.
Singletary is asking about the Taylor Swift cover that you owe.
Yes.
I do.
They went in every
They've
chat. I was
asked me
just
to
about
do it.
to
I
say.
do owe them one. I have to pick a Taylor Swift song to do for them.
I'm sorry, but I'm gonna be
You
real,
know-
y'all. I'm
Go
not
ahead.
Taylor is
Shake It Off is pretty on the piano.
it's great. That beautiful gowns, wonderful
beautiful
gowns.
gowns. Absolutely.
Yeah. You
Now-
you have that. You have that.
I will say Twitch heard it here first. Dan Clancy is a Beyonce stan, and we
1000%.
appreciate that. We love that. And just had to talk about it because how could you not talk about the impact that Renaissance has had on the world? I go see Beyonce.
Absolutely.
Y'all tired of me saying this? I go see Beyonce in like 10 days. Club Renaissance floor seats. I spent my rent on them tickets, but that's okay because it's worth it.
No, I'm taking my sister, and I don't think she knows. I can't even tell her. I
hope
can't.
she's not
I don't
watching
think
your
she
stream.
understands.
I hope she's not watching. Yeah, she's gonna find out.
Oh, she don't know how much you spent, right? Are you saying
She don't know yet.
Don't?
I don't think I want to hurt her heart because she's, how some siblings are, like they're really just sweet and like they don't want to inconvenience you and all that. But she did come to me and she said, "Okay, you said we might do this, but I'm just letting you know right now, I ain't got it like that." And I was like, "Okay, girl, I hear you. I hear you." What was the last concert you've been to, Dan? Because this is the only other I've gone to an Alicia Keys concert. I'm asking all of y'all actually.
Yes,
The
such a good
only
question.
concert I've been to was an Alicia Keys concert like some decades ago.
Only?
That's it, y'all. I'm
So it's
sorry.
gonna be
Wow.
Alicia Keys and Beyonce. for
That's
you.
it.
Okay.
I know.
I since my list is short, also me and Chelsea just always have a lot of things in common. I've only gone to one concert, and I don't even think we could call it a concert. It was at a water park. Yes, it was at a water park, and the artist was, y'all already probably know thanks to my name, RavenSymone.
Yes. Yes.
Oh, I love that for you though.
I saw RavenSymone at a water park in 2006. June 6th, 2006 was the exact date. Don't ask me why I remember. I just have been loving RavenSymone for so long. But that was the only one. I did see Saucy Santana at it wasn't really like a concert. He performed, but then we kind of just clubbed after that. But Beyonce is the first and only stadium concert that I'm going to.
Ask for USB from the chat. They asked, do you look for Cheetah Girl performance or like vibe? Because they're blowing up over Raven right now.
No, it was a solo performance. No Cheetah Girls number. She had just performed her album. Actually, it might have been 2007 because this was, or 8, somewhere around there. This was right after Self-Titled came out. And don't get me started because I'm a RavenSymone stan, as you can tell. My name is EspeSymone. And to give you an idea, I was in Louisiana. I was a teenager at that point. The concert was like all elementary school like age people. Then you had
Yeah.
me just standing in the middle of the crowd, like yes. And nobody knew the words because nobody was buying Raven Simone music. She says it herself. But I was the one. I stand in line. I stood in a line. The line being literally just me, waiting for her album to be released at midnight so I can buy it. And I knew every single word, so I stood out like a sore thumb, but I thoroughly enjoyed myself and I knew every single word from back to front because how could I not?
There you go.
Nice.
Y'all go ahead, fill in. What concert have y'all been to? Was
For
a
me,
lot. Yeah.
the last great concert I went to was the Yeah Yeah Yeahs, one of my favorite bands, and I'm going to be seeing them next weekend, I think, and I'm excited about that. And I do need to preface and say that I've already run Beyonce her check. I was at Homecoming, like at Coachella that year
I
or
get you.
whatever. So I'm
expensive.
sitting this one out. Someone else. The last concert I went to was a little British band called Still Corners, which makes like dream pop. And if anybody knows that, I don't know. But that's the kind of
Somebody
stuff that I vibe with, late night vibes.
I love it. That's
So,
beautiful.
so for
gotta
me,
check
I
it
go
out.
to a lot of music. I probably go to some concert every 2 to 3 weeks. So the last one was Cat Hasty in Portland in a small club. And then this Monday, though, I'm going to see Zach Bryan, who's I like him because of his lyrics a lot, and he's become a very big artist lately. And in fact, on Tuesday, because of that, I'm going to go ahead and do a stream where I only play Zach Bryan songs. So I'm going to go for like 3 hours just playing Zach Bryan songs, and that'll be fun.
That has a fierce look.
Yeah.
I love her look. I wish I had a red cowboy hat like that. Okay.
Latoya said nobody has mentioned Tiny Desk. She is confused.
Latoya. Okay. First of all,
I mean, that is a concert. But
it's a concert. Like we're talking about a concert. All right. I love
like,
Tiny Desk.
did I miss the message?
No, you did not. You
She
did
back
not.
channeling.
Yeah, that sounds right. Yeah, that sounds right. No.
All right. So now
Tiny
I'm going
Desk
to ask.
is a personal experience. Okay.
I'm going
Please,
to
go
take
ahead.
us to streaming. Okay.
Oh yeah.
I'm going to take us
thing,
to
yeah.
streaming, and give me like, what was it that kind of said to you? Yeah, this is who I am in terms of streaming. And I don't just mean like what was the first time you streamed. What was the kind of thing that got you to like, yeah, I need to do this.
Ooh. That's a good question. Who wants to go
That is,
first?
I can go. So
Yeah.
actually, I was telling Latoya this not too long ago. When I first started streaming, I was a very family-friendly streamer. And for those who know me, that's kind of hard to believe. Like I was trying to appear very wholesome. I was trying to appear like I don't even know how to describe it, but I specifically remember one stream. One of my friends said, "You sound like a robot. You sound like, and you sound like you're not having fun." But I had an idea that like I can't say a single bad word on Twitch. I gotta stay in line. I gotta be wholesome the whole time. And the moment I had a stream, especially as a drag queen, we love banter. I love to banter with people. I love to go back and forth with people playfully, kind of like I do with Chelsea, I do with Jermaine. Ooh, especially Elix. Oh my goodness. Elix as another drag queen, you go back and forth. And I remember I had that first stream where I was like playfully bantering with people, and I was like, this is me. And I realized I have to fake it to make it. Now I guess some people do have personas, and that's fine. But for me, I need to show up as my authentic self. Because if I'm showing up and I'm like, hello, welcome to my stream. I'm EspeSymone, and I'm going to play video games today. It doesn't work. It doesn't give me a good experience, and the people watching say I sound like a robot.
It's also hard to do it.
Boom.
That's the thing. I mean, the reality is you got to be yourself. And if they don't like it, so then tough, find another streamer.
Right. And I think it's interesting to find a sweet spot. Like me in a nightclub is going to be far, far over here. But me on Twitch, because TOS is very important to keeping the site safe.
Yes.
I tell myself, okay, let's find that middle ground. You can't just go completely off the rails into the drag nightclub territory, but let's find the spot on Twitch that fits. And that was a learning journey for my first year, and it was so great. Shout out to 8-Bit Dylan. 8-Bit Dylan used to work with community management at Twitch. I used to talk to him a lot. I'm like, Dylan, I don't know. Dylan was like, girl, if you ever do anything out of line, I'm going to tell you. And if anything ever popped up, Dylan was like, don't do that again. I'm like, okay, thank you. Thank you so much. But finding that sweet spot was like my first year of streaming. And it was such a phenomenal moment. Now I get to go live and I get to just exist and live. And I've kind of mastered how to be TOS friendly is how I'm gonna label myself as a streamer. Not family friendly, TOS friendly.
That's another way of saying you comply with the TOS.
Yes. Absolutely.
That's really a good feature to have as a streamer. As a CEO, I approve of that.
Wow, thank you. Y'all heard it here first. Dan Clancy approves of EspeSymone and her singing.
That part.
I
Put that
tried to
on there.
slide the singing part.
I'm ready for the collabo between the two of y'all.
Yeah.
Can we have a musical interlude right now? Like,
Wait, let me prepare myself.
No. Oh, wait, hold on.
yes, okay.
Lyric.
Y'all,
Honestly,
microphone.
That was a whole vibe.
My microphone broke.
No, it did not. Stop. Don't do this.
Anyway,
Don't
I got to
play.
drink Gatorade.
Hold on, Dan was ready, y'all. Can we
Dan
talk
was
about how
ready.
Dan was ready?
You was.
You know how you like shoot your shot? You gotta shoot it like that. You saw how
Hey,
Dan is a shooter, okay? Like from the hip. Like boom. You gotta be like that. Boom.
Hello?
Respect,
Wow.
Dan. I see you, Dan.
I sang the whole Beyonce Dubai riff, but y'all didn't hear it. My microphone actually cut out. But that's okay. I'm gonna say that for next time.
Oh.
Yeah, I did.
That
But
is-
that's
oh my-
okay.
You talking about the love
Espy,
the love
it was
lockdown
wonderful.
intro?
It was wonderful. I loved
It
that
was
riff.
beautiful.
You heard it.
Oh,
Okay, see, Dan heard it. Dan heard
I
it.
heard it too.
Wonderful.
I am oh my
Okay.
god.
Y'all heard it.
Look at that.
Thank y'all. It was. I can't help it. Like my voice is just too powerful. Next
Do
question.
that. Next question.
all right. Now
Hey,
it's Jermaine or Chelsea's turn. Chelsea's turn.
Yeah. Do you want me to go, Jermaine? I got you if you need me
Whatever
to.
you want, Chelsea.
Perfect. Oh, yes. Yes. You're right. Right here is whatever I want. And I'm going right now. Thank you for recognizing. So, as you all know in my chat, y'all know how I started Samsung S6 Edge on my justy little phone because I had just moved out to Cali. No friends, no family. I was like, man, this sucks. And I didn't want to get on Omegle. I didn't want to get on any random chatting service to go and just talk to people. I know my mama was tired of me calling her every day. I was like, I need to make some friends, and I can't make friends with my siblings because that's sad. They're going to be like, okay, girl, don't you have a job? Like, don't you have like a life? You were talking about role models. That's not the model I wanted to set for my siblings. I needed to detach from them soon. So definitely got on Twitch and just started talking nonsense as I do. And they were like, oh, you're a computer scientist? How does that add up? Because I was telling way too much back then. We were doing a lot. People thought I was wholesome, SB. Just because I think it was because I was a light-skinned person on Twitch and just talking like this. But then when they heard me talk, they were like, oh, wait. So I could tell who was watching the stream versus the people who would see me streaming. They'd be like, okay, she's streaming, they move on. So yeah, I got rid of that real quick. We're still wholesome. We're wholesome, but we're not afraid to talk about, the serious stuff. Like, I'm happy to talk about sex ed. I'm happy to talk about all the different issues that, we got to discuss. Like, I know a lot of people don't know that I'm bisexual because I don't really talk about that. I don't talk about my sexuality, like, unless asked to, or it's like the space to, because for me, that was my personal journey. Like, some of my family just found out, just found out. Like, my parents knew, but yeah. So like, for them,
her cousin right now is going, what?
Mm-hmm. They are. And hey, and I tell them that, like the point of me saying that is like this stream is where I get to just do and say whatever I want, whenever I want, and however I want, because I didn't really get to do that growing up. I definitely watched my words, minced my words, and did all that in the home and outside the home. So I made this as a space for like any family or friends or just people who come around. Like, it's the privilege to get to know who I am, because this is the only place where it's going to be authentically me, and you get access to that, like for free. So yeah, you don't tell me how to run this ship. If you don't like what you hear, that's fine. We can talk about it, but we're going to be respectful, of course. So I'm very proud of the community. The Bite Command, they're staring at me right now. I see y'all. Okay. I see y'all. Yeah, I'm very proud of them, because over the past 5 years, we've built this rapport together where we can be silly, we can joke, we can still be serious too. We can be dumb, but also like tighten up and have real conversations as well. And yeah, that's like the generic answer. But like flavored for me. Yeah.
Were you in high school when you started?
Yes, I was. You're absolutely right. I was in high school. I was like, at first I thought I was going to go pro, like an esports pro. It's going to be like a League of Legends player, but I decided I was too much for the girlies. I would have been on their necks all day. So I just kind of sat back and I was like, content creation. Yeah.
And Chelsea is competitive.
I am. It is a big part of what I do. I'm very competitive. No, it's fact. I don't care what it is. It's a competition. And I love you, but I'm going to be the best. Like I'm going to break my neck trying. So I don't tell people this. I don't tell them I'm competing with them, but you better know, if you know me, yes, baby, I am competing with you. And that's an honor, honestly, on some levels. I'm just saying, because that means I respect you, like truly.
I'll relay a quick message. Even though the switch up is very real, because LaToya told me 10 minutes ago, oh my goodness, you my favorite guild leader, don't tell nobody. But she just typed in the chat now and said Chelsea is my favorite guild leader. She's switching up, but I think the torch is in your hand, a favorite. Jermaine.
Thank you.
Meanwhile, my phone on silent. LaToya, where's the love, LaToya? LaToya, why?
LaToya knows my phone is off when I turn this stream on. Period.
Phone looking dry. I'm like, is it broke?
When I tell LaToya I snitched her out like that, I would hate for her to find this out.
Yeah.
I want to share something with Chelsea.
Okay? Yes.
Is in our competition, I just did a quick test. Okay. And now, of course, none of the numbers are gonna like get Ms. Kip all excited or anything. But you are winning the competition between the four of us in terms of who has the highest ACCB right now.
I love winning. I love winning in all efforts, but let's talk about this seriously.
I got a raider. I wonder if my raider. Let's see. Hold on. Let's see how my raider.
Who raided you?
If that bumped me up. Let's see. Hold on.
Nah. You come on. Who raided? I'ma find them.
No.
Somebody in my chat said usually I'm 3 times louder, so thank you for that. You're wonderful.
I just went with the raid. Welcome raid. I just moved ahead of you, Chelsea. I just inched ahead of you.
Well, that's so great. I'm so happy for you. We're so supportive. We gotta bump that up. Hey, if y'all know somebody who's down for a raid into all of us right now.
Well,
we're all available. Go and pick a stream.
Whenever we get a raid, we should explain what we're doing, so that way they can check everyone out. So that way, whenever we get a raid, so for those who's raided, welcome and we're hanging out, doing stream together. And with the 3 streamers here, they're all Unity Guild leaders, and we're just having a chat about Twitch and life and everything else. So
we're vibing, yeah.
Thanks for being here.
Thank you for coming through.
Yeah, appreciate them raids.
Appreciate y'all.
Appreciate that.
We're here to support everyone. So right here on my stream, you have all the names here. Go raid any of them. Okay, but me too. I'm here too.
Oh shoot! You know what I just realized? I'm horrible about this. I am the worst streamer here. Okay, that's clearly. I didn't update my title.
Dan.
No.
Dan, what does the title say right now?
Hold on. My mods did. I'm safe. There we go.
No. What
Thank
did
you,
it? What did
mods.
it say? What did it say? Did
Thank
it
you,
say
It was
mods.
whatever
Dan's
it was from
plan?
last time, but my mods got it. They have all of your names in there. So thank you, mods. They
And
have
Thank
you
you,
can tell your
mods.
moderators to change it
Shout out
again
to the
just
mods.
right,
Shout out,
absolutely. And
Oh
they
my
can change it to just I love EspeSymone. That is like the perfect title for all of y'all.
Oh, wait, SB, that's my standard title.
Okay.
I love that.
I just had to make sure.
my chat's gonna we support our mods in this chat for sure, but we also kind of drag them a little bit. So I know somebody about to get timed out. They started talking so much trash. But no,
You do
seriously,
gotta
bless
drag
our mods. Bless our mods. Yeah, mods.
Jermaine,
Yes.
it is your turn to answer.
Yeah, SP's not gonna
Oh.
let you skip this one.
Why Twitch? Well, first of all, Chelsea, again, I'm such a ChelseaBytes stan, but like when you were talking about you know your streaming journey as it related to your sexuality and being bisexual, like once again, you're like living in my head because I share that experience with you, and that's something in like 7 years of streaming that I have been navigating because that was sort of my like private for me, because I came to Twitch in 2017 because for a couple of reasons. Like first off, I was working at a television show and I was really frustrated about the seat that I was sitting in. I wanted to be in another seat, and like I just could not be seen creatively at all. Like and I was getting like really like challenging feedback from like executives that I was working with. My headspace was not great, and like I had just started therapy that year. Like so it was a tough time, and like I just randomly installed Twitch on my PS3, and I was watching this streamer. He used to be Cyb Plays Games, but he's since rebranded. His name is Sci-Fi now. And like, you know,
Yeah.
I think again, like you're a legend, SB's a legend. I think Sai is also like one of the coolest to ever do it. Like just like extremely funny, extremely welcoming, could like play everything. I would just be sitting there cracking up, and like
Good company to keep you.
this one day I had to go to Best Buy to get some equipment for work, and I saw that they had a Blue Yeti mic on sale for like $70. And I was just like, I'm going to buy this mic. I was like, and then I bought like the Logitech webcam, the C920, like
Yep.
I think that was like $50-$60.
Yep.
And one day I just came home, set it up, and like started. And like so y'all are saying y'all are TOS friendly. And Chelsea, you were talking about the evolution of like going from being family friendly to just being ChelseaBytes friendly. Like, so for me, I'm like, I like to think of my 16 seconds ago as like mindset friendly. Like, so like,
I understand that.
I try to create content for folks who are trying to keep a positive mindset so that they can use it to build things or grow or just be encouraged to like keep going. Because for me at that time, and like what helps me to keep going is just having that encouraging, like kind of ethos community vibe around me. So that's why my community is called the Arcade. We operate a safe space, you know, because we have, you know, my friends and their kids. We have, you know, retired folk. We got people that run the gamut, you know. So I just want to make sure that everyone has a great experience and feels encouraged when they interact with my content. And so what I realize now looking back is that I came to Twitch to sort of create the community that was lacking, like in my life at the time. And so that's why I love hanging out here, because I get to like fix that.
Yeah. Yeah, we're gonna give you let me give you the purview onto why this, like, I've gotten the chance and the privilege to work with Jermaine before, but being able to do what we do now as guild leaders, if you didn't know, I'm the women's guild lead, and I run that.
But Chelsea, actually, a lot of people listening won't know what the guilds are. So why don't you explain that?
I
right?
love
Right?
that. Hello. This is your introduction to Twitch's guilds. They're Unity guilds specifically. And right now there are 3 guilds: the Latin Guild, the Black Guild, and the Women's Guild. We are the pilot program to set the groundwork for potentially future guilds, hopefully, in the future, for your underrepresented or misrepresented group. And yes, we've gotten so much feedback. I know the LGBTQIA plus community is going in. I know there's a whole audience for that. But right now, we are doing our best to set the best example for y'all by providing a community for Twitch partners that allows them to get the access that they deserve. So like how we're having the stream right now with the Dan Clancy, and also opportunities that they may not get. So, hosting on stage or getting to do their first front page experience and anything in between that. And also building that community where they can share their knowledge and resources together, because knowledge is power. I know you've heard it in elementary, but that is the truth. Collected knowledge, access, and opportunities. And each guild is going to look different around those 3 or more things that they require. But that is our voice and goal for being leads of all of these guilds. And we hope that we can at least spearhead the beginning of servicing those communities on Twitch's Unity guilds. And it's a really exciting program. Y'all got to look at the blog post. I got to go get the link. I'm going to spam the link now.
Very well said, Chelsea.
Thank you.
Well, thank all of you for all you're doing there. And I'll state that, a big part of we're trying to understand what is the right way to support these and other underrepresented groups, because, I think, one of the biggest challenges when you've been a part of a marginalized group is this, sense of belonging and a sense of finding other with the shared experiences. And with this, I think it might be a good segue into that topic. One of the things that I will share that struck me, all of us met down at DreamCon when I went down for that. And one of the things that struck me, I forget which creator I was talking to about this. Okay. But I was talking to them about, their community and who was at DreamCon. And, they were, the beauty for them of DreamCon was that it was all these other Black creators, and you didn't walk into the convention center and feel like, okay, well, it's great to be here. Everyone loves me, but I'm underrepresented here. You saw everyone, and that their community felt the same way. And so they said they loved TwitchCon. And even though this wasn't just about streaming, they said, but their community loved going there. So I thought I loved going there. And, I think we can transition into our conversation about, some of y'all's life experiences.
I got to ask you a question about DreamCon.
Okay, go ahead.
So I'm not sure if it's on y'all's minds too, but I want to know, was there anything like DreamCon? Have you been to anything like DreamCon before? And not specifically just a Black convention, like a convention where it felt like the community clicked so well. I'm talking.
Yeah, I understand what you're saying.
Yeah.
I think, the interesting thing is, and I'm not a big convention person, okay? I see that same thing at a TwitchCon, right? Because you see that same, and you don't see that in many other conventions, right? Because many other conventions are about the show. There isn't that sense of community. And I think, TwitchCon, when you go to TwitchCon, you see this diversity of expression, whether it's the drag, the drag show and the drag queens, or you see different groups that are there, or the cosplay, and you see this expression of identity and acceptance, right, of who you are. And I think the thing that was, very clear was there was of all sorts of types of folks there, and there was this just acceptance of who you are. And I get that same feeling at TwitchCon. But I don't think that necessarily. I've been to South by Southwest a bunch, and that is not, you don't get that feeling at all, right?
Oh, I love that for you. So I was going to ask earlier if you've gone to South by and I still have to go to the unofficial and official.
Yeah,
But
I love
hear
South
you.
by
I hear
Southwest, but that's because I love music and all this other stuff. But it
Yeah.
doesn't have that same sense of just acceptance and identity.
you. But like,
Now, and after Dan spoke, Latoya said, "Well, actually, Dan is my favorite." So you now have the Latoya favorite torch, Dan. I think we're just gonna be passing around this whole conversation.
Am I no longer the favorite?
We need someone with some bullet twitch to create a Latoya favorite badge.
Right?
Yes,
Absolutely.
I would love to see it.
And I would be the one who has it.
I
Even though
guess.
she just told my chat I wasn't 21. Continue the conversation because I gotta go handle Latoya right quick.
Wow. Whoa. Handle? I'm gonna clip this. You know she don't want to hear that. Let's keep it going. So I have to ask you, Jermaine, like, I'm not sure if you had, maybe let's like broaden the question from convention to like space. I'm not sure how you felt at DreamCon, but was there a space where you had that vibe of community, something similar or greater, or hey, like you got what you got? Have you
At
experienced
DreamCon?
that? Not just a dream, anywhere before DreamCon or after DreamCon.
But in terms of like a real life event.
Yeah. A place or a space. It can be online, it can be in person, where you felt like that community, that bonding, like where you felt like you, when you looked around, it was like, oh, this is me. Like I see me in this room.
Got it. I definitely felt that. My alerts are going off in my ear. I definitely felt that at DreamCon. I also need to shout out BlurredCon. The last time I attended was 2019, but I met so many amazing creators at BlurredCon, like DJ Cocoa Butter and Ruby. It's Ruby Rose, and like
Love
I see
them.
my friends like Brother Genesis and like so many. Like I had just such an epic time meeting everyone there. I wish I could shout everybody out. And BlurredCon was the phrase coming out of BlurredCon was it was a place where all of our identities were affirmed, and like I felt that same vibe at DreamCon that I felt at BlurredCon a few years ago. But I have to be honest, I feel it in my streams. The arcade takes such good care of me. We have the best mods on Twitch, and when we get together at TwitchCon, like I only saw you for like literally a nanosecond at TwitchCon San Diego because you were booked and busy, but like it's always so much fun to see everyone live at TwitchCon. So I will always like save up or do what I need to do to be there, because like when we're in our streams, it's hard to remember that you're a part of something greater. Like so when we all come together and we can like compare our experiences, talk shop, network, it's just so powerful. And now that we have tools like Stream Together, I feel like we'll be able to do that virtually as well.
Mm-hmm.
I feel you. Guest Star has been on something, you know, like I'm about it. I remember when I started streaming, I thought I had to do all like the big stuff. I thought I had to like, you know, do a show with somebody every week and, you know, just be on the pulse of like what's funny and what's fresh. And it was really, y'all know me. I'm gonna try to optimize a setup as much as I can. We have 3 different setups in this whole apartment. We got this home base, we have our to-go stream, and then we got our backpack, of course, because those are all the different types of streamings that you need. And now I just need hubs to get popular. I just need places with good internet that I don't have to lock down a month out. But yeah, I love that you can get onto a service and you don't have to depend on someone's internet to make you look good. I think Guest Star does that really well, because that would be my main irk. I did like several shows a week and I'd be like, man, I look so chunky. I look gross. But no, y'all look great. Y'all look wonderful. And I look wonderful all the time now because I only do Guest Star shows.
I will say this is my first time using Guest Star, and it was such a seamless setup. I ain't gonna lie, sometimes when I hear new things being announced, regardless of if it's Twitch, if it's somewhere else, I'm just like, oh, I'm gonna have to set something else up. Oh my goodness.
Right.
But then I dived into this today, and I set it up in like 10 minutes.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, this is really, really easy. I really enjoy it, and it's a nice way to have people on your stream. So I I've been sold. I've been sold.
And I will share with you, and then when I get back, long term, the way I really think where I want to get Guest Star to go is where it's very easy. Where whenever you stream, it's always active, and if someone wants to come knock on your door, I mean, we planned this, but it's really fun when you're just streaming and you see someone else is live, and you say, "Oh, let's go knock on their door. Let's see what they're doing," right? And it'd be fun right now. Somebody says, "Oh, come up on stage," and I know I've done that, and I will tell you. My funnest streams are the ones when just suddenly 2-3 people come up, and you just start hanging, impromptu. So I'm looking forward to that.
Well, yes.
I feel that.
Hold on, SB, did you answer the question about like
conventions?
Yeah, or just whatever space you feel.
Yes. Repeat the question for me so I answer it right.
Chelsea.
So, the question is. Have you ever been in a space, virtual or in person, where you felt community like at DreamCon? Or, another example, it doesn't have to be like DreamCon.
So I want to start this answer by saying, I don't know if you knew, Dan, last year at TwitchCon, they actually threw the whole convention for me and Chelsea. Yes.
Yeah,
it was the Chelsea and ESPE convention.
The ESPE Chelsea Con.
Yes, because our birthday, me and Chelsea share a birthday. Me and Chelsea have so much in common. I know. You're probably like, why do they keep sharing stuff in common? Our birthday was the very first day of TwitchCon. Mm-hmm. But I would like to be in a space where I can just like be unapologetically myself, feel like I don't have to like code switch, feel like I don't have to go through the motions. DreamCon was that space. DreamCon was that space where I just felt safe from the moment I walked in the room to the moment I walked to go talk to this random sponsor over here, or I'm talking to a person. It was just so consistent. I come off as intimidating the way that I talk with the banter, but sometimes, well, not even sometimes, at DreamCon, I was able to banter. I was meeting people, and I'm already throwing like little fun jokes at them, and they throwing jokes back at me. We call it roasting, ribbing, or whatever you want to call it. And it's just kind of an understood thing within the Black community that DreamCon really hit that on the head for me. It really hit that on the head. It really allowed me to express myself freely. And it was interesting that even, this is why I say times are changing, as a queer person, I felt comfortable. Because if I would have went to a space, I'm not saying DreamCon was like this years ago, but if you would have told me there's a convention in 2016 that's majority Black people, I would go into space and I would ask myself, because I would say, I don't know how people are going to react to me. Being queer, I don't know what the room is going to be like. Yes, existing is exhausting sometimes. Absolutely, LaToya. But walking into DreamCon, I think I went to DreamCon on the first day in my booty shorts, y'all. Yeah. I think I did. And it was just like, I'm living unapologetically me, and nobody batted an eye, nobody blinked an eye. I just felt so comfortable from the moment I walked in the room till I left to go back home. And then I ate at Terry Joe's barbecue. Yes.
Terry Black.
No, that was on. No, I loved it. That's their Dan. Oh, Dan. All right. Yeah, Terry Black's is delicious. Yes, it is. Woo. Yeah, no, that's I think that's a great way to kind of transition into just spaces where you feel comfortable. I feel like Twitch is very much a place where you're kind of forced to do it on your own in the beginning because you need to establish, who you are. If you haven't yet, I do not recommend finding yourself online, but, finding out what your stream is. And I think my motivation when I started was just chatting. I think a lot of people don't do that enough. Maybe in my circle or from what I've seen, I'm sure there are tons who do it, but some people just turn on the game and just go. And I'm like, okay, but what about you? Especially if you're doing variety. I would sit up and just do just chatting streams in the very beginning for like 5 hours. I streamed 100 hours a month. Like, I was doing that with a job. And I don't know how I did that. I look back and I'm like, what was Chelsea on? But I was streaming a lot. I know my husband would be like, please do that again. That was great. Can we keep that up? But I can't do that no more with my workload. But that's like the motivator for why I got on Twitch was I get to talk. And I was discovering things about myself that I didn't really know because I hadn't had anybody ask me some of these questions. And now that we've gone through that trial by fire, like, we're solid. Like, I know I've had an answer to this before now. And it's a good experience. It's a good social exercise that a lot of y'all need to talk to people. Yep. You should stream at least once in your life. Everybody should try it.
Starting with Latoya.
Latoya!
Yes.
Knock, knock. Come on. Come on down. Yeah, I'm calling them out.
Here you go.
We're ready.
It looks like you've got some collaborators there, Latoya.
Honestly, we could do this again next week. Like,
For real.
With Latoya.
With
Let's go.
Latoya.
Okay, but don't talk too much because somebody was supposed to go to her house to help her set it up, but they forgot. And I'm not saying who that person is. It was me. But listen, let's just next question. Huh?
No. So Dan, this you know about mentorship. I'm sure you do, as you've gone through your career, and sometimes you have to hold your mentees accountable. I would assume that as the CEO of Twitch, you probably are the top mentor there. So I'm gonna need you to hold Latoya accountable and make sure that when we get on this road towards her first stream, that we're checking in, that we're setting everything up, because she had a chance. She did. I had a whole studio built out. All right. We could have started the first one here, but things happened. I'll let it go. But it could have happened. I'm saying.
Yep.
So yeah,
Yep.
I need you as one of our mentor accountability peeps on this journey we're going to go on.
And she liked to sing. She was telling me how she can't wait to come sing on your stream too, Dan.
That's right. Actually, we did agree that she was going to sing.
Exactly.
I forget what song we decided she was going to sing. We decided that I was
strut.
I'm sensing a theme here, SP.
Wait, you gonna have her start with Cheetah Girls?
This is the third or fourth time with Cheetah Girls today.
We gotta build up.
Across meetings and everything.
Oh my God.
It's like,
Oh man.
hey,
Steve,
I
no.
get it.
Dan, what? Okay, pause. Because you be over here streaming, Dan. You got to tell us, like, going from. Because I think you and I share that cloth of, like, and really most of us in here do, actually. All of us do. Wait a minute. All of us in here share that cloth of that tech background, but we're forward-facing people. But Dan, since you do have the most experience in that, what was that like? Yeah, like, turning on the camera and starting the stream.
Now, I don't know if you can hear me. Unfortunately, you three do not know this, but because of my bandwidth, my audio and video have been spotty throughout the stream. I keep sending them to your stream to listen, but it's worked fine in the conversation. But that time I lost the whole question, Chelsea.
Oh, I
But
still
now I'm
hear
hearing,
you.
So try it again.
I still hear you. I wanted to ask you, since you have the most experience and background as a nerd major, what was it like going from a back end, like, vibe to being front end on stream? Like, what was your motivation to start this stream, since you asked us?
Yeah. So let's see. I had played around some. I had got my daughter set up to stream, and I'd streamed once or twice, and kind of enjoyed it. But the interesting thing is, when I had streamed, I had always streamed and gotten. I'd get like my friends and family, and there'd be 15 or 20 people. And then when I became CEO, I was like, well, I love the interaction with streamers. I obviously can. My instincts are better in terms of empathizing and understanding, the perspective of the streamers. And it's kind of great that I'm a small, because I think much of the magic of Twitch are the small streamers. And, I've really enjoyed that.
I love it. That's good. Your kids, they bring you into the fold. Were you just trying to keep up with them? Were you like, oh man, they're doing it, I got to do it, I got to beat the curve?
My question for you, Dan, what kind of PC are you on, and is it ready to play scary games?
That part.
Well, so Jermaine, you have to. I got a NZXT streaming PC.
Me
No, I
too.
Oh my
Period.
God.
my
Okay.
bad. Go ahead.
Wait, I'm an NZXT creator, so like I just want them to know that they heard it here first.
God.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you for that cosign on NZXT.
There you go.
Woo! Hey,
So-
hey, give me more deals. Thank you. Mwah. All right, let's go.
There we go. And now I did not pick their gaming. I picked their streaming one, but I'm assuming their streaming one is got enough cycles to like play any game I want.
Okay,
Yes,
pause.
I have a
Go ahead.
We're doing
I have an
Outlast
NZXT.
Trials.
Yes, an NZXT streamer PC also. Yes, NZXT.
We can claim that
group.
together. Yeah.
So it sounds like
This is where I come in. Okay. No.
We
Can
gonna
you hear
get
me?
on it.
Can you?
Yes.
Yeah, can you hear me? What did you say, Jermaine?
I said we gonna get on it.
Oh no, we about to fix this. So
Our
there-
vertically integrated tech company that we
Yeah.
just created.
This
an
is
hour
how
ago.
the snake is coming back around to bite the tail and fix itself real quick. So are you on a dual PC setup? You just have the one.
I have one PC.
You have one So Dan, now as the CEO,
I only have one. Not just one PC. I have one monitor. I have only one monitor.
Only one monitor.
okay, we got to fix that.
Only one.
So
Hold
I want
on,
you to
just
know.
gasped in streamer.
I want you to know your technical director actually pitched an idea to, let me find a better word for this. They actually pitched an idea for us to upgrade the Twitch staff setups at their homes. So if you want to make a series about it, we would be more than happy to set you up with a proper streaming setup for the CEO of Twitch, because you need 2 monitors minimum. And I would recommend 2 PCs so you can do all of this, because I can do this and game with y'all easily. And you can do it
No,
too.
but my problem isn't the cycles on the PC. My
I know,
problem
it's
is
your
my
bandwidth.
because I'm.
We're going to upgrade your internet. We're going to get you up there. AT&T, let's go. Like, we can fix
Yes.
all
Chelsea,
of that.
I don't. If you can figure out a way to do it right now, they ain't got nothing up here.
Okay, then we need to go
Darling.
ahead and get something installed. You know how this works. We need to bring no, this is what we're not going to make excuses. We can make this
well,
happen.
I just want to throw it in there, Dan. I'm streaming off one PC too. Now I do have 4 monitors.
But you make it work.
I have one, and I sound like Chelsea. I need to get another one. So when you come to LA, you can come over to my house and teach me how to.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, that made sense. I didn't say no words, and I heard that Louisiana come out just now. You know I'll be listening. He said they ain't got all that up here.
Ain't got all that.
That was that New Orleans that just came out.
But by the way, I just realized there's an easy solution for us to play at the same time, and I'll just have to acknowledge it. We'll just need to use Discord for the
sure.
video
Yeah.
call.
Oh yeah.
Because
you
the
can just
problem
commentate.
is guest star is a bandwidth hog. The way they do it, and they're working on it. But if we use Discord, we wouldn't have this problem.
I know what we're talking about. Okay. Yeah, you know what? That's real. Okay. Because we can talk about it. Like, all you engineers over there at Twitch, I need you to take note when Dan says, hey, it's a bandwidth hog. I hope you're noting that. And we're going to all you network engineers, I'm going to let y'all do that. I could not get into networking whatsoever. That sounds so stressful. But pin that, y'all. Pin that. Is there anything else you'd like to, note to the engineers while we're on this topic? Can we stress out their repositories right now, their scrums?
That's a good question, but I will say this: I am going to send you a Discord chat to figure out, because I have had it on my list. I need to get another monitor.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
y'all have to tell me which one to just go ahead and order.
For the
because
chat,
one-
the chat needs its own monitor.
They do.
Don't worry, I know.
Twitch chat deserves its own monitor.
Mm-hmm.
And you need a monitor, another one, so you can window project your scene. Because I like to look at myself large and in charge.
Yes.
So you need a third one up there for that. And then you need the last monitor, so that way you can open up whatever browsers or games that you need.
Yes.
It sounds like a lot, but it's not. I promise. It's simple.
So speaking on that, since we've dove into the particulars of streaming, can we is it a requirement, is like a secret requirement for all of the lead Twitch like all the Twitch leads to stream at least like 3 hours just once in their career so they can understand like, the struggles behind the mechanics of setting up a stream and, dealing with communities and stuff like that.
Right. So, by the way, it was breaking up, but I think the question came through. The thought about making it a requirement of Twitch executives or leaders to stream regularly and
just once, not regular.
No. Here's the thing. I actually just streaming once. To me, people often focus on the setup problem as the challenge of streaming. Right, getting OBS running for the first time. My feeling is, look, it was a hassle. But it took in the end, it took a couple hours. The real issue is showing up regularly and building a community and having something to do and dealing with the fact that sometimes there are 40 people there and you're like, oh, shit, normally I'm at 75. Does this mean they don't like me? Because you watch your ACCV and like we mistakenly look at it like as a reflection of how I'm doing. And it's not, right? It's a reflection of who raided you that day. But like, I feel like, when someone big raids me, then I feel good about my stream as if I did a better job streaming that day, when really all I did was get raided by someone big. That isn't a reflection of me doing a better job. And I think the hard part is that consistency and showing up. And so the just getting it set up. In fact, often we talk about, the problem is the setup. The problem is the setup. And I'm like, look, the setup could be much easier. The problem isn't the setup. The problem is having to show up on a regular basis and have something to do. And so I've learned a lot from it.
That's a miracle.
Mm-hmm.
I understand. No, I think for me, I understand what you're saying, man, and I agree. But just from the mechanical parts of it all, I think it'd be great for some people to just start understanding the actual effort that you have to do. And then, of course, if they want to keep diving into like the emotional, the community, they keep it up. I think that's important for like the community side of Twitch.
Yeah.
I don't want to give them more work, but I think they do that on their own too, though. There are a lot of Twitch staff that are great with keeping communities up.
Oh, there are. There are all sorts of Twitch staff. The thing is, though, it like streaming, not everyone is going to be good at streaming because it's actually hard to stream. I think I resonate with it and I enjoy it. But much like there are a lot of people that make great TikTok videos that aren't good at streaming. And there are a lot of people, lots of skills and so the idea that everyone can or should be good at streaming, okay, and both be entertaining and enjoy it, it's not necessarily the case. It's like there's certain people that are good at it. And so I'm very aware of that, and I'm a big believer that you need to be able to build empathy without having to wear everyone's shoes. Because I talk about this with myself. I'm not a gamer, but I'm also not a lot of things, right? Perfect example. I'm not a black person, right? And I run Twitch, but part of my job is to try and be empathetic. And I'm not a woman, and I'm not a gamer, and I'm not a musician. And for everything I am, there are 20 things. There are thousands of things I'm not that reflect our community. And so my job is to be able to empathize with people who are not me, rather trying to be who everyone else is.
You're warming my heart. Oh my God. Right, did y'all feel that?
I did.
I want you to understand, just from me personally, it means a lot when people can't even say it.
Mm-hmm.
And I appreciate that, because there are some people where it just doesn't even register to them that they are, there are people outside of them, So I seriously, y'all, like, they're like blowing you up in my chat right now. They're like, wow, you're spitting for real. Yeah, that was really nice of you to say. And I know I've seen you stream, so I know the intention is there too. And that means a lot.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I appreciate that also, because something that often happens, especially when we see people like way higher up within companies, is they feel like they need to have the answer to everything. And you are not afraid to say, I don't have this answer because I have not had your experience. So let me talk to you to see how can I support you in making this a better space for you, as opposed to just coming back and saying, well, this is the answer. I don't know what you're going through, but this is the answer, and let's just go that we have been, and then you say, well, how can I help support that? And that's kudos, that's flowers. I'm giving you. I really appreciate that, and you're really approachable. I ain't gonna lie, when I was first meeting you, I was like, oh my goodness, I'm about to be the Twitch CEO. I don't know what I'm about to say. And then we talked for like 5 minutes. I said, oh, this seemed like one of my cousins from back at home that I'm talking to.
Well,
It's true. And I'm remembering you at DreamCon, and like I just need to be the person to say to this everybody in this chat. When Dan was at DreamCon, Dan didn't just show up, be there for like a half an hour, and then bounce. Dan was at DreamCon. Dan was outside, y'all. Like I think Dan might have been at DreamCon longer than I was on the first day because I needed a Red Bull. Y'all know that's when I was peak Red Bull. But like Dan was out there in there, and like when people would ask me, well, what was it like meeting the CEO of Twitch? I said, this is a person who put himself in a situation. Speaking as a Black person, that I often find myself in, where I'm one of the only people from my background in the room. He put himself in that situation on purpose and like had a great time, met everybody. I mean, like I introduced you to so many creators that I knew, and people are still DMing me talking about how great of an opportunity it was to just have that FaceTime with you. So I really hope that like we're going to have more of this on Twitch, because Twitch deserves it. Twitch deserves it.
They do.
Like,
and maybe this turned into a give Dan his flowers moment. I talked to a lot of people in that room, and the biggest thing was, and I think this is a struggle, not necessarily a struggle, but an obstacle that you had to think about beforehand, is you are a white man entering a Black space. And everybody that I talked to said the way that you occupied that space was not overpowering, which sometimes happens when you invite white people into a primarily Black space, where they kind of feel like, I'm the star of the show. And it wasn't that. It was, I'm just chilling. I'm sitting back. I'm relaxing. If somebody come up to me and talk, then I'm having a conversation with them. And I heard time and time and time again, I was telling people, I don't know if they told you, I was like, go talk to Dan. He over there. He's not scary. I promise y'all. Just go talk. And they would come back and be like, you weren't lying. I went over there. I had a conversation with him. I was so nervous walking into it. But the moment that the conversation started, I was chill. It's that Southern hospitality. I'm telling you, you got the New Orleans charm. And that's good.
Well, let me say thank you for the kind words. I appreciate it. We all, I think, we all try to do our best, and then, it's always good to hear when it has a positive impact.
Oh,
right?
for sure.
And that you're perceived the way you want to be perceived.
Oh, yes. Say that again. Say that again. Yes, I agree.
The way you want to be perceived.
Yes.
Yeah.
I love that. I just want to, some people worry so much about, like, I've had some people who are like, oh, I can't get on Twitter because I'm afraid that people are going to try to cancel me and stuff. And I'm like, okay, baby, first of all, let's address, like, what are you doing where you think you're going to get canceled? But besides that, like, it's really just your actions. Like, if you know what you're doing and you know in your heart of hearts the intention's there, like, baby, people ain't going to be able to pass that. So have confidence in yourself. Be confident in what you do. And yes. All of that, or that. There we go. Whatever side y'all are on right now. Did you have more questions for us? Because we could talk all day.
I know, because, we talk a lot.
We do.
The interesting thing is, I do think that, as humans, we build these models of people based upon what we already believe about them. And then we look for evidence to support that previously held belief that we had, and then that validates the things we already believe, okay? And you only start reconsidering them when you get significant evidence to the contrary. But you have to be patient, because we don't like to change our minds. We like to have an opinion of someone and then feel like we're right, and then we look for evidence of why we're right, and then other people react to that, Right? I think that's been a big thing I've needed to be very conscious of as a CEO. People, had an impression of me not having met me or talked to me or anything about me. And, it just takes time, and you have to have patience and not react to how they're initially responding.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. Because you know who you are.
Yeah.
That's real. That's real.
Hello.
I try to, can I say, like, you meet a lot of people in this space, and I'm not sure SB's or Jermaine's experience or yours, but they say you're very cool to talk to. They're saying, well said, amen. And they're like, I just have to tell y'all that.
My chat resonated also and
Exactly.
said that you were a cool person to talk to.
Thanks.
Exactly. They said that takes a lot of emotional intelligence to, not judge at a first look. But I mean, you meet a lot of people, and people will tell you things about people in any space. This isn't just a Twitch exclusive thing. Like, it's high school followed us. They did.
You earn your reputation.
Exactly. You do. And I try to do as I can the benefit of the doubt. You start here at 0, and you either build up or we go down in our experience. I try not to let anything else cloud it. No hearsay, he say, she say. And then that goes into like how you don't react when you see stuff online. Like, you don't instantly just, this is, you think. Just think. Take a moment, breathe, and think. You're surprised with how a lot of people don't read, and then a lot of people don't think. And they need to do both. And sometimes the point of failure is the reading or the thinking or both. So yeah, it's simple, but it's a real skill that you've had to train up by talking to people. And I feel like the people who talk the most, us, and every time SB says we, I think they're saying Chelsea, but I'm gonna get it out.
I didn't even say that. I did not even say that. I'm saying
no, you're fine. You're fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's just me. I'm projecting. But yeah, like us, we've all talked to a lot of people, or quite a few people, and we've been able to build that skill up. It's a muscle, and I think a lot of people are learning to use it.
Yeah. Yeah. I think you also learn it by streaming because, part of what that idea of being yourself, one of the interesting things when I've talked to some of the gaming streamers, they said, well, initially, if I wasn't gaming, I had a hard time talking to my community. And then over time, they felt more comfortable. But the gaming relieved that kind of anxiety to sit there and talk because you had something you were doing. And then you could just be yourself. Whereas if you just said, put your hands down, now talk, it's like, oh, no, that's uncomfortable.
And can I talk about that real quick? I had a friend that I got to meet, and they are so amazing. They brought me on to several opportunities. I need to pay it forward with them because they're amazing. They had played League for 6-7 years straight, and that's all they did. That's it. I'm like, I would have gone nuts because League is a salty game. I don't know how you can talk to people and do that because I'm a different person when I'm doing competitive stuff. I have to shut down, stop focusing on y'all, and do it. But when I had them get, just do 30 minutes of just chatting, the communities kind of that's 7 years of building that up, right? So you got to fight that. But even the community is like, what are we doing? This is weird. Can you turn the game on now? Can you,
Yes.
what do you want to talk or something? And I was like, yeah, girl, you have to fight through that because they need to love you too. It's not just that you're a pro gamer. They need to like you too. So when you switch off of this game and you do something else, I know Shroud and all those other big streamers, when they switch to a game they don't normally do, I know it's kind of oh, they don't want to watch me play Elden Ring? Fine, I guess. I know they think that. I know they do. And you don't want to end up like that. I think they should love you for every part of you that you want to introduce. And you just got to start doing it. You just got to do it.
Okay, so as we had talked about doing this for 2 hours. I think we could go on for 2 more hours.
Truly.
And but I know I had before we had planned this, I had talked to another small streamer who does bedtime stories, and I told him I'd come on and do bedtime stories with him.
Wow.
So which I will share I will share something I did for all those folks that are becoming parents. One of the advice I give them, one of the things I did when my kids were young, I would ask them, I had 2 kids, and for bedtime stories, each of them would come up with 2 things, and then I'd have to make up a story with those two things. So maybe rainbows, waterfall, unicorns, and whatever. Right? And then I had to make up a story with whatever 4 things they came up with. And, you read it really engages your creativity as opposed to just opening the book. And they loved. So I everyone I meet, I recommend, like, once your kids get old and you're reading bedtime stories. But I want to finish with one question for each one of you. Okay? To wrap this up. And we've already talked about some of this, but I'd like to ask the question and this is not just to you as necessarily a streamer, also you as a viewer, okay? And think of this, describing it to someone who doesn't use Twitch regularly. The question is, what is the magic of Twitch? Or describe the magic of Twitch.
Oh, my God. Well, before we answer that, I need you to make a story about Cabbage Patch Kids, but I'll move on from that.
Wait, because I was going to say we need a story about RavenSymone.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, go ahead. My bad. I'm sorry. I can answer that question. And I know that there are a ton of sites out there that you can stream on. For me, what Twitch offers is the best sense of security. The best sense that I can come on this site as myself and exist. And if I have any issues, I know that I can send a report and that'll be worked out. Another thing that Twitch offers is a good sense of community. Like, the thing that got me into Twitch, it was a lot of drag queens. I don't know what happened on Twitch during the pandemic, but, well, shout out to Bitch Puddin', a drag queen who kind of pioneered digital drag, actually hosted the Drag Showcase last year, which, if y'all didn't know, shameless plug, the Drag Showcase this year is being hosted by an icon. I don't want, just say who it is because I'm very humble me.
I'm pointing at you on the stream.
Yes, absolutely. But it was so many drag queens in this space that whenever I signed up for Twitch, I signed up for Twitch for something completely different as a viewer. But I remember coming across a bunch of drag queens and I was like, oh, they have that type of community here, especially on a platform that focuses a lot on gaming. You don't really see too much about drag queens in gaming space. So I was like, wait. Let me dive in. So that's kind of the magic of Twitch, the sense of diversity that it gives in terms of creators, because you have so many creators, but also the sense of security that I feel like if something goes awry in my stream and I need to report somebody, how that can be turned around. Like, I remember one day somebody came in my stream and started slinging out slurs. I ended up getting banned, but Twitch reversed the ban within 8 hours. They reversed the ban. They said, my bad. And I know sometimes when you have different websites, it could take way longer than that. You can see it way longer than that. And the fact that I typed up a long message to Twitch and I woke up the next morning with an email saying, your account has been restored. That gave me sense that they work fast enough to make sure that stuff like this isn't happening, but also working pretty fast to say, okay, we see what happened here. Let's make sure we reinstate it. So that's the magic for me.
I love that.
Right. Good one.
Can I follow that up actually? Because I think you hit on it's human, it's reactive. You get, how you said, you got a response. It's responsive. Already with our community, which is always first here on Twitch, the culture that you build around that is unlike any other platform. No platform does it like this place. And I would say if you want something that is almost skin to skin with the people who run it and the people who live in it and building that room together, and you get to build that space, that's the magic, the culture and community. And the fact that I've only been on this platform for 5 years and Twitch has already changed so much. Back then, we didn't have the shield. We did not have banned lists. We did not have, our UI looked so different. We didn't have any of these tools. We didn't have, now we got feature clips. Now we have all of these different things that empower you as a creator. And you don't see YouTube doing that. You don't, TikTok's only been around for a blip, but you don't see them doing that because they're not really listening to their creators, at least not on the functional side, not like the way Twitch is. So if you want to feel that human, like that human element on all ends of a platform, it's Twitch. And for me, that's the magic of it.
Very well said once again, Chelsea. Like, for me, the first thing I thought of, and roll your eyes though I might, but I was at TwitchCon EU a few months ago, a few weeks ago, whatever, and someone at TwitchCon said that Twitch is the place where, I want to make sure I'm quoting it right, but Twitch is the place where communities come to do things together, or communities come to do things together. And I think you said that, like at TwitchCon EU, and so if I was explaining to someone what Twitch is, I would borrow that one from you, because like I think about like all the awesome fundraising that happens, where communities come together and just like raise like incredible sums of money for like great causes. Like it's so like in the DNA and in the culture of Twitch that we have these seasonal rituals. That's why for me Twitch is the only place really that I'm interested in creating on. Y'all, I read an article in the New York Times the other day that said that they're projecting in like 5 or 10 years 95% of the content on the internet will be created by AI. But the thing about Twitch is that we are absolutely powered by humans. Like, when we go live, when Chelsea is live, when EspeSymone is live, like that is not no deep fake, you know what I mean? Like somebody ran it through ChatGPT. I don't know if I'm not pointing at any other platforms, but I don't necessarily know if I can say that when I look out at some of these other places, just because they are so large. We have mods on Twitch, we have communities. Each one of us represents a whole community. So you can find someone that likes that thing that you're into, and you all can build something from there. Like, I think Twitch is just a powerful place. And the number of creators who earn a coin on Twitch. So not just you can build something, but you can have the opportunity to create something that someone sees value in. And as a creator, that is its own sort of like milestone to have someone like see something you're trying to do and want to help you along in terms of that way also. Absolutely. I could go on forever with this one.
All right.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, those were 3 great answers. And in fact, I'm not going to give my answer because it's better to end with your 3 answers, because I don't want to end with my answer. I want to end with the 3 answers we just heard, because the best people to hear that from are you 3.
Why, thank you. I think we did a great job, you know.
All right. Well, this has been great, and we need to do it again.
We do, because I know we didn't get through your questions. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and do you ever think that you would want to talk to our guild sometime? Like, wouldn't that be cool?
Oh, for sure.
We've been pushing that access link. I know. We've been pushing that form so they can get some FaceTime with you too. But if you ever want to just join into our Discords, like Jermaine said, then we're down for that too.
Y'all know I'm always asking a question.
You should, absolutely.
Hello.
Yeah.
So before you go, this story time about Raven-Symoné and the City Girls. What?
Yeah.
Let's get back to the really important issue. Dan, when are you going to do a Beyonce song? Dan, when are you going to do a Beyonce song?
Oh, wait, hold on.
Are you going to play us out?
Are you going to play us out?
You going to play. I need you to play. So you listen to. So do you know Flaws and All? That's a good one. I'm going to send it to you. I know they got the piano out there. That's a good song on the piano.
Yeah. The problem, I don't know that song. The challenge is, there are a lot of songs that have like complex like rhythm basses and all that, and I'm kind of a functional piano player. I play chords, I can improvise, so it makes it sound like I'm good. But anything that is like a really good piano song that has like an interesting bass and then right hand, I've never built that skill. Yeah, like the Snoopy song. I can't do Vince Guaraldi. Boom, 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 boom.
But we heard Snoopy. You did that. You got me.
You did.
No guitar anywhere back there.
Oh, we have a good. Is there not? There's guitars downstairs. There's musical instruments all over the place in this
Yeah,
house.
all the
Okay,
artists
I
who
was gonna
said had
say-
guitars. I thought you'd do more guitar.
I just want to say, do y'all see how smoothly Dan changed the subject on me by bringing up Beyonce? And I just fell right into the trap. I said, oh, wait,
That's
hold on,
charisma.
Beyonce. Hell yeah.
That's charisma. It is.
You got
It is.
caught.
Dan, this was wonderful. I don't want to keep y'all
was.
because we can't keep doing this content for free. All right. We got to cut it. This is all y'all get for free. But we'll be back at it with, another one. I'm hoping in the future, whenever you have time. We have to thank
Yes.
all
You're
of the
stuck
people.
with us, Dan.
You are.
You're stuck
Yeah.
with
All right.
us.
Follow everyone
Well,
on the screen,
looking
everybody.
forward, first of all, so definitely want to spend time with the guilds. Just make it happen. Tell me, we'll do that. And looking forward to streaming more together. And maybe if any of y'all have your backpacks, I'm definitely going to be doing IRL streaming at TwitchCon, so we can IRL stream together.
I'm bringing it. Bringing my backpack. Enough said.
All right.
All right,
Thank
y'all.
you so
y'all.
much. This was fun.
This was
And
great.
for my stream, I'm staying on to move over to the other thing. So
Yeah, enjoy the other thing where they birth.
thank you. I appreciate it.
See y'all.
Thank you.
Bye, guys.
All right. Bye.
See y'all later.